Get it into your soul. The monobrow! Hello everyone, welcome to day 2 of the E3 pre-3, yeah, I like that, the pre-3 vlogs. Yesterday, a lot of you going about, oh, MBZ, you got a monobrow, you gotta sort that shit out. Well, I'll tell you what, there's no wax in the house right now. I'm damn well not shaving this fucker, because it's gonna come back nastier than ever. So until some wax arrives, you're gonna have to deal with it. But fuck it, it's like my fingernails. Look at those long things. Ah! So anyway, we're talking about E3, let's get to our topic of the day, and it's going to be Star Fox. So, Star Fox, of course, announced that last E3. It was actually leaked a little bit before Nintendo's digital event went live. I can't remember what site it was, but I think it was the New York Times or the Washington Journal, some kind of reputable source, who basically put their article an hour before Nintendo had even announced anything regarding Star Fox. So people knew before we were even going into the event that something was up, although we didn't actually see anything of Star Fox at all at E3. It was mainly journalists who went behind the scenes and were able to get a quick look at it, and apparently it was very kind of low assets, very tech demo-y, and nothing fully fledged. But Miyamoto has constantly been saying, you know, we're going to get a developer for this, and we are going to basically get it done within the next year. And this is this year, so apparently Star Fox is coming out before the end of the year, and I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. Now, Star Fox has had a storied history. If we think back, the last internally EAD developed Star Fox game was actually Star Fox 64, because of course Rare were the ones who worked on Adventures. That wasn't really a Star Fox game, it was more of a Zelda clone. Then there was Assault, which was worked on by Namco, and very recently Star Fox Command, which, although the production end was handled by Nintendo EAD, it was actually Q Games who were the developers behind it. So it has been a really long time since Nintendo's internal teams at EAD worked on a Star Fox game. And because their last project was 64, I think a lot of people are potentially really excited for this. Miyamoto has stated that they are going to be including levels very similar to that game in what he calls the Valley style, which is essentially the on-rail shooting levels of the N64 Classic. Nintendo could very well just stick to the Star Fox 64 formula, not stray from it, just add some HD graphics in there, and bada bing bada boom, we've got a game. But I don't think that's the way that they're going to approach this. Nintendo love their innovation, and I think Star Fox is a character that they can kind of take some risks with. He's not kind of a top tier dude, he's definitely a B-level character in terms of the Nintendo roster, and so they can definitely do some interesting stuff. And of course last year we also saw Project Guard, Project Giant Robot, these kind of little projects that Miyamoto is also working on, and people are speculating maybe these will be part of that Star Fox game as well. Will we have levels where we're playing as this giant robot in a city and that's going to be drawing from that? Will we have outpost kind of defense levels where you are doing the guard stuff? That would be really fresh and interesting, and it would change up the formula a little bit, make it not so it's just about flying through those levels, but still keep that kind of classic stuff in there. I'm also really curious about the art style that they're going to approach here, because Star Fox hasn't really had a set kind of look throughout its history. Much like many Nintendo franchises, the art always changes, and Nintendo like to shake things up. You can see that with Yoshi's Woolly World and things like Kirby and the Rainbow Curse with these fantastic kind of crafty art styles. Skyward Sword had this very kind of impressionist painting look. I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with Star Fox. Are they going to stick to the very kind of sheen, sleek, space sci-fi look like they had in Other M, or maybe they'll go something even crazier? I'm very curious, and I hope it's something fresh and interesting, because art style is one of those things that Nintendo does above all else better than most developers. So really excited to see what the game actually looks like. My prediction for Star Fox is that we will get a trailer for it, we're going to get some footage of gameplay, and there's going to be developers talking over it. You know how last year the Woolly World developers were in a yarn shop? This year they're going to be broadcasting from the moon! In all seriousness though, I think we're going to get a great look at Star Fox, and I'm really excited to see what they have in store. Alright, now it's time to check in with Twitter for our Tweet of the Day, and And the tweet of the day comes from Toby, director Toby, he's a cool guy, and he says, I'm expecting awfully implemented motion controls. I'm hoping for essentially Lilac Wars in HD. And I should mention, of course, that Star Fox 64 was known in the UK as Lilac Wars, another localization strangeness that I never really understand why they do that. But he makes a good point about there is motion controls being heavily pushed for the new Star Fox game. Now, I wouldn't get too worried about it. I feel like the approach that they're going to take is going to be very similar to the way they approach Splatoon. They're going to have motion controls in there, and they're going to say, look, this is a really cool, different way of approaching it, and some people will prefer it, but a lot of people won't want to use those. A lot of people are just want to be traditional and use the analog sticks, and so I absolutely think that they will include the normal controls with dual sticks for people who don't care about that. So yes, we may be worried that motion controls could screw everything up, but there should be an option there. Nintendo generally allow us those options, and I'm hopeful that they'll do the same for Star Fox. I'll be interested to see how that motion stuff works, because they were talking it up quite a bit at last year's E3. Yeah, I'd like the option there. They should give it to us. So that's going to be it for today's vlog. Let me know what you think of Star Fox. What are you hoping for in the comments below? Be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm at LordMBZ, and I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, but you know, keep a lookout on my Twitter, and I'll be asking you to tell me your thoughts on whatever my choice is. But until then, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
Yuga, 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 yuga.